Hello and welcome to a new replay commentary. I'm a day late on this because I went to the zoo yesterday and had a great Sunday. I hope you had the same. Sorry about the no upload on Sundays. That's normally my day when the videos go up. But I have a pretty sweet treat for you, I think. So this is a Hero League game I played, I think 2 weeks ago or something like that. And you can see the blue team has Brightwing, Diablo, Malthael, Junkrat, and Genji. And we drafted Blaze, Greymane, Jaina, Ana, and Abathur. And if you follow my videos, you will see that we don't have a solo laner dedicated or a tank, depending on how you look at it. I drafted Blaze as the solo lane, and then our team decided to just pick Jaina last and not have a tank, because they thought we had enough frontline. So I was a little bit unhappy about that, because I didn't know exactly how this would go, but just enjoy the game so far. Or enjoy the game, what's happening here, and then you can be the judge of how it went. I still went for Neural Impact on level 1, which I think is a pretty good talent in general, just to keep things happy. I used Jet Propulsion here, and then also used all of my other cooldowns just to do some damage again to Genji, because I thought that I would be having an advantage of it if I did some damage to him. So here I'm happy to spend some mana now, because I've just activated this impact, and I also used all of my cooldowns here with my Pyromania, which is a pretty long cooldown, as you can see, 90 seconds. But with the 2 heroes here, I thought I could do some damage, also force Brightwing to basically well, so she used her Moonwell cooldown that is gone, and I can just heal myself up. The good thing about our lineup without the second tank is that we have very good damage, obviously, but also we have Abathur who can soak lanes for us if we're careful enough and don't die. On top of that, we have very good Merc clear. We have Greymane who can now just do giants, as you can see on the minimap. But also, overall, we have very good Merc clear with Jaina and Greymane and Abathur who can support them. So I wasn't like super negative about this. I was a little worried that we in team fights wouldn't look that good, because Diablo is very, very good to just jump into your backline. And the same goes for Malthael, so I knew I had to be playing well and making sure that I get most of it. Try to engage here, again, just do some damage to Genji. It's not super effective to do this, because obviously Brightwing has heals for free, but I definitely didn't want them to feel super safe. Now with the giants here, I had a little bit of an issue, so I tap early just to be able to engage into them, hide a little bit, and then just immediately engage. If I just waited a little bit longer, you can see that Greymane went up here, so he would have been there for me, and the engage would have been more impactful. But it's fine, we just want to clear the giants, we don't really want to get too many kills. Early game with Abathur, it's just important that you stay in XP range of everybody else, and that's pretty much it. As you can see, I use my oil spill very rarely to ignite it, because it slows. I took the oil dispersal on level 4. It means the area of oil spill is increased, but it also increases the slow of the oil spill. So with that, we're having the first tribute here, and as you can see in my rotation, I'm super late. But for some reason the blue team is also late, and they nearly lose the first tribute to us. So now, unfortunately, with my being so late, my team is at a bit of a pickle, but then they counter and get actually a kill on Diablo, which is crazy. Here, good engagement from me, again trying to do some damage to everybody, but also put some slows in front of this area here, so that my team can soak relatively safely. And I'm just trying to clear the camp now. This is, I think, the first mistake that I'm making. Abathur probably could have done this more effectively if he paid attention to it. But with me going here, it takes very long. Like, Blaze Wavefree is okay, but it's not amazing. So me going here is not the best decision, because now you can see my team is also being engaged on, and Jen lost a little bit of HP as well as Greymane, so that's unfortunate. That being said, for us it's also not too bad, because we have a lot of poke, and the goal here is obviously for us to get an XP lead. Here you got engaged by me, but unfortunately that's one of the things that you have to be careful about Blaze as a solo tank, or very heavy engaged tanks like Muradin and Diablo. You can bait your teammates in quite a bit. Like Greymane just jumps in because he basically sees me having a good engage. That being said, I'm pretty tanky here now, so I'm okay with what I'm doing. And then again, putting the oil spill down just for the slow. And then I put the oil on fire because I feel like I want to get some quest stacks, but also see if I can delay them a little bit longer. As you can see on the XP, our Abathur did his best to soak as much XP as possible. But with my blunder of just like going in and not really paying attention that I'm so low, we are actually not as far ahead as we can. I'm signaling here, hey, go back. You're going to be engaged here soon. And I think the Diablo comes out of his shadow in a second as well. My rotation top is, again, just because I feel like the top lane is the one that I belong to most. Blaze is not a great rotational tank, because his attack is very much long cooldown, long wind up, so it's not really that great. You can gank out of the bushes pretty well with him, but with Abathur you really need to make sure that you have all of your lanes soaked while there's no objective, so he can't really safely farm, and therefore I decided to go back up. And we split very well here. This is what I'm doing, is just to get him to stay here. It's not really to get a lot of damage on him or whatever. He actually like hits like a truck, but I'm healing myself up. And he, what he makes a mistake of is giving me grill and kill quest stacks. So basically the spill damage is increased and the duration is increased when it's ignited. So for me, that's very, very positive because I can do more damage in team fights. It also allows me to clear creeps much better. And then I also get more damage towards heroes if I interrupt them with the fire because it burns longer. So it's difficult to evade it. This being said, the game is going pretty well. The blue team is ahead and I see Malthael there. So I know that they're coming for me and play more defensively. They do a good pressure play here with Malthael coming up top and seeing if they can gank me because they have the giants here, so that's very good. So yeah, we didn't win the early game, but we kept very level playing field, and that also means that we are now at level 10, meaning we have ultimate evolution on the Abathur, and that's basically what we wanted to achieve with the early game. That's what you want to do with Abathur. On top of that, we reached level 10 when they reached level 10 before the third tribute. That means we actually are in a good position. I don't mind taking a little bit of damage here because, again, Grill and Kill is now empowered. That means I get a lot of healing from my oil spill on fire, and I'm just damaging him a little bit here. I think he underestimates how much damage it does. It is not like burst, obviously, but it trickles quite a bit, So here I have to be a little bit careful because obviously Malthael has last rites and he wants to use it on me. So I'm just healing up on my oil spill a little bit. And now Diablo is here as well. Last rite comes out and I use Bunker. So Bunker is excellent for this because it removes all debuffs. So for me that's great. I can't get last righted. I don't die from the damage and then I survive. And this is a little bit where the solo tank plays is a little bit difficult because with Greymane, as our second front line, basically, we struggle a little bit with the absorbing of damage that is coming in from Genji and Diablo and Malthael. So basically, I sponge soak most of the damage, but then there's nobody else who can take a little bit of damage up front. Therefore, Greymane, once he jumps in, is a good target for them. So we're worried a little bit that they're doing boss, but we see Brightwing here, so we're actually pretty sure that they can't be doing boss. But we're gonna check. We're up half a level, so it's good for us. And then we see Genji here, and for some reason I completely miss everything here. I put Bunker down too late, and therefore my team can't get away. It's one of my first mistakes here in this game, or notable mistakes, let's put it this way. When I hear fire in the hole, I should immediately put the bunker down just to enable my teammates to know where the bunker is, and then they can join in. Greymane unfortunately didn't make it out, so. Also, with me completely missing my E, it's also the only engage and movement that I have. Therefore, it's very, very difficult for us to get anything afterwards, because we literally don't have anybody else who can hard engage. I put the oil down, and I missed the time frame to get the interrupt, but we're now gathering again, and we did a little split, so I'm worried that we're in a similar situation. But we pull the ultimate evolution very well, and then the clone Greymane just suicides in basically. Again, I miss an E. Genji here, very, very risky, using all of his abilities to just escape, and therefore his engagement is not as strong anymore. And we get the success. Great Ring of Frost. Here I wish my teammates would have gone in the bunker more, because the armor is just so good. It's a lot of armor that you get. I get polymorphed and also miss a chunk of my mana, so we can't really follow up. So this was a little bit better for us, because we basically, like the split, which normally is never good, actually worked well for us, because we then had the chance to engage from different angles and stuff like that. And the Ultimate Evolution is obviously a great clone with Greymane, or it has a great clone target with Greymane, so that's excellent for us. On 30 go Fuel Leak, I want to have more oil spills on the battlefield, just so that I can first of all ignite them if I need them. It's good because if you E-engage into something and then can't get out, you literally can still heal by walking back through your fire. That's actually amazing. And this is the time where, so I had to go back, you saw, I didn't have any mana. And now we're in quite a pickle. The Ultimate Evolution is still down for 6 seconds. We don't really communicate that this well, so I'm just gonna have a look here how we're set up. So if you look at this, the blue team is has a much better setup with Malthael and Junkrat threatening our very softies here, our squishies. Then Greymane unfortunately does the aggressive rotation and gets stunned by the Diablo, and now he can get polymorphed and then also get a lot of damage from Greymane, sorry, from Genji. So my job now would be to make sure that I put the bunker down so he can escape, and also engage into these people. So let's see if I can actually get that done. Bunker is here. I interrupt the channel for one, but then my team is just like all over the place, and I can't really do anything anymore. Here, this is also why Oil Leak is really good, or Oil Spill is really good. Sorry, Fuel Leak, there you go. Because you basically slow everybody who wants to follow you, so Malthael, even though if he had range, he wouldn't get me. And then I just defend now because they get Curse. Abathur immediately bursts bottom, that's really good. Soak XP. Prevent the enemy lane to be pushed too hard, and my teammate survives, that's really strong. But as you can see, I didn't use my E to engage into them, meaning that Greymane didn't really know what was happening. And this is a big mistake by the Genji. But let's finish the first thought first. So without me engaging with E and putting the bunker down, Greymane panicked and just like E'd out himself. So he wasn't really in a position to go back into the bunker. And then also with me putting the bunker there, it only was beneficial for one person. So my other teammates that were top, Jaina and Anna, didn't get any bunker value. So I probably could have just let E'd in and then keep the slow on the floor and not ignite it, and then literally just move up and use bunker in a more crowded area so I could hit more targets with it. And then to this situation here with the Genji, don't over chase when you have the curse. Like, curses are so popular. Sorry, so powerful. That's what I wanted to say. And it's very popular, there you go, to take bosses or something like this, or over chase on kills. Kills are not very much important when you have the curse, especially if you're on the same talent tier. It can always happen that the enemy team just like turns around and kills you. Sure, you just killed their healer, so that's kind of cool, but then look at all the XP that you have to soak. Malthael is luckily in range, but he's also very low, so this can be very dangerous. And then Junkrat is doing the correct thing, is also doing the soaking, which is really good. So they have all 3 lanes put together, which is fine. But now you got a death here, which basically gives the red team some XP. And they're already getting a lot of XP later on when these big minion waves are going to push in. So you should avoid chasing too hard for kills. Obviously, Jaina is low, so it's kind of difficult to deny this or to not go for it. But it's definitely an issue. For some reason, our Abathur didn't pay attention and didn't see Junkrat coming. So that's unfortunate, but it happens, man. Sometimes you just like so focus on the minimap and then you do silly things. Our Greymane rotated down and I was very worried that he would be fighting outside of our capabilities. But then the Junkrat also played a little bit weird, and then I get a shove, and I'm not really trying to do anything, but it prevents them from getting the fort, which is really important for us. We already lost 2 forts, top and mid. And then bottom fort is, even if it has a little bit of health, it is very good for us, because if they send a boss, it still has to do a little bit of damage to the fort. In this case, it's not going to be hugely effective. It has like 1000 XP. Yeah, sorry, 1000 HP. So not really strong, but it's maybe like a couple of hits, which can be enough to then defend the keep. I'm a little bit too aggressive here with my positioning, because if they're rotating very aggressively, they might rotate actually behind my back, and then I have a hard time getting out. So you should be careful. With the big waves coming in, we have enough on top, especially to get XP. So we knew that they were going to go boss, and my plan was to prevent them from taking top boss. So we leave bottom boss because we have, again, 1600 health on that thing on bottom, which the bosses go through, and then we also have the giants, as you can see in the minimap. Unfortunately, my team thought it was the best idea to not contest this, so I'm a little bit in a ugly position, and then I'm also making the mistake here that I E when I'm not in the position to E. I should have put W down and slowed them, and then walked a little bit further and then E'd, because with my jet propulsion forward here, I basically stunned them all, but I didn't get any traction between us, between me and them. So now I get polymorphed. That means I'm slowed. As you can see, they also all avoid the spill. I put bunker down, and then I get just pushed out because I leave the bunker too early. Again, leave bunker too early, get last righted, and die. And that's really, really bad, especially because our teammates are bottom here, and I should have seen this. Greymane is a big important part to clear this, but more importantly for me, Anna is here, and she can't help me if she's down here. So me scouting the boss is fine, but I have oil spill, which should be enough to scout it, and it's not important to like literally see them. If I just like walk here and throw oil spill over here and put it on fire, I can see if the boss is moving, and if it's moving, then I don't have to do anything else. On top of it, obviously Genji found our Abathur and killed him. That's really just unfortunate timing, because with a little bit of support from him, a little bit of speed and a little bit of healing, I would probably have survived this easier. On the positive side of things, we are not too far behind. It's a level and a bit, but we also have a pretty good defense against the boss. Here I'm a little worried that they might be flanking us, but then we see everybody in the mid, which means that they can't really engage or flank us here. I want to engage into Genji here, but he's positioning himself pretty well, and this is some trickle damage here, so it doesn't really matter. The good thing for us, again, we are on the same talent here, and I get dismounted here if I remember correctly. No, okay, there you go. We're in the same talent here, and the positive thing is that we also have a good power spike on 16 for most of our heroes. And there you can see how great the power spike is. If you have seen Genji, good on you. But as you can see, he's gone now. So without without any pressure, we killed 2 people, and then, as you can see, I interrupted the Junkrat in my own way, which is by literally just walking into him, and he got scared of me stunning him out of his Terror Wheel or whatever it's called, Riptire. There you go. So he just put it on me, and I survive. I didn't use the level 16 talent that I picked, which is Juggernaut Plating. I should have activated it, and then had Spell Armor and also healed up a little bit. But I still have Bunker, so I'm using it, which makes my team join me here as well, and I can just, like, you know, Jet Propulsion in again. I probably should have hit the Junkrat there now that I see it, but you can play it perfectly. And this is where you can make comebacks, and where the blue team actually had a disadvantage, because the way that they killed us was very unlucky. They managed to do a good job on a lot of things, like they took the boss before we could react to it. That's really good. Then they moved over the map and tried to take the boss, found me, killed me, found Abathur, killed him. So it's actually very well played, because they have double boss pressure. They get the wall here, and they get the wall here. Unfortunately for them, they don't get enough XP out of this to pressure us into giving this up. And then the spawning time plays a little bit in our favor, because it takes a little bit longer, and then we can engage into them and therefore just win a good decisive team fight here with some, I want to say, very well played engage here by our Grey mains. So now my team plays exceptionally well, and we just focus on getting something more than just a fort. This was also a good engage by me. Oil spill on the floor, so it's the Diablo slowed, and then I can engage into him, which allows us to get a kill. So I ping core, and this is a little dangerous, but I have bunker up soon, so I'm very confident that we can core here very aggressively. So I go forward, but my team is hesitant, so I ping and ping again, but my team is not moving forward, and they want to go back now. So now we get level 20. Nobody clicks on the bunker because I use it too late, and then we have to run away basically, because we're basically overstepped and didn't do enough. Here comes the Junkrat wheel. Good job by the Brightwing to block me from interrupting it, and then now I just sacrifice myself and not bait my team in. So now, after this, I'm still under the impression that we could have killed core here, because I had bunker up. If everybody goes into bunker, we do a lot of damage to the shields, and eventually we'll get it. We also don't. Let's go back for like a little bit and see if we use all of their heroics. So you can see that Ultimate Evolution is still up when we're here. Let's put further. Yeah, it comes. Yeah, look at it. Like, so we get keep here. And I don't want to say that I knew that Ultimate Evolution was up. Honestly, like, it's one of my biggest mistakes that I can't really, or I don't focus on my teammates' heroics, but I'm picking this, and I think it's the correct decision, because if you look at it, Junkrat is 8 seconds away, Diablo is 35 seconds away. If we clone Greymane here and use bunker, there's no way in hell that we don't get damage on this. But instead, we're all a little bit scared and can't really do anything. The bunker was really good. The timing was a little unfortunate, so there's that. But what can you do? Like, I mean, it was my decision, but it didn't really work out. On the top side, or on the upside, we get a lot of pressure on the map. We have the top fort that's going down, the bottom fort went down. We have level 20, but the unfortunate thing is that they will get level 20 as well. So it's not like we can benefit from my dying or from me dying. On the plus side, we know how to play the game, and or this specific lineup, and we know that, like, Genji, for example, is an amazing target. And they have a couple of other targets that are really good, like Malthael and Junkrat. Both are also targets that we can attack. Unfortunately for us, level 20 is a great power spike for, I think, all of their heroes. So it's not like easy to say like, oh, we're gonna win this easily. There's no problem with this. I think with level 20 on Abathur, the Hive Mind, it can be a bit tricky because you want the Hive Mind to be active, but you also don't want to not use Ultimate Evolution. So there's just like that. I feel like this is not working out there. So Malphite is very low, and I know that that's not good for them. Because Brightwing doesn't have blink heals, so that means that she can't really burst him up. And now our solo frontline Blaze is not as much of a problem anymore, because we actually have pretty good health on me. And it's also that the Diablo obviously doesn't have any souls, so it's not that bad. Pyromania goes on. And now this time it's a good bunker, but unfortunately again, people don't use it that much. The Everlasting Emerald Wind is a big problem. This time I just go on this. Good Ice Block, good dodge by the Greymane. And this looks very bad for the enemy team now. I get the Junkrat again. I'm a little aggressive here because I want to win this game now. I want to finish it because again we have so many advantages. And then here, I think the Junkrat basically kills the Brightwing a little bit because she jumps in to save him and then she's just dead. Here, because of his level 7 talent, he's actually much faster. Good escape by him. But we're pretty good now. We have only 2 people alive for them. And bunker is up in 1 second, so I'm just going to go ham here. And ping the core. Again, if the bunker's up, just go in once. Like, there's no reason for you not to go into the bunker. But overall, we just finished the game here because we can. This is solo tank Blaze. It can work, but obviously I played a lot of things incorrectly because I'm not used to playing solo tank Blaze. But you can see that there's these warriors like Irel, Blaze, and maybe even things like Leoric that can work solo. They're never like the first choice, but they definitely can work. So don't get too discouraged if your team doesn't draft around you and you're suddenly the solo tank. It can happen. Obviously, the enemy team made a lot of mistakes that helped us out. So it's not that I played this amazing solo tank Blaze and that's why we won. But it's also just a mental thing. Like if you just stay positive, I mean, we got cursed first. We had this blunder where I checked the boss and then just die. But at no point the team got like negative or anything. Like we kept our cool and Jaina, Greymane, and Anna just like did what they were supposed to do, a lot of damage. And as you can see, Abathur just carried us with his XP soaking super well, nearly 20,000 XP soaked. Great job by him. And as you can see, the deaths are pretty spread even by us. And even on the other side, Diablo just then had a rough time at the end, dying I think 3 times in a row, basically because he doesn't have the souls for his soul stone. So you can punish things like this with a solo Diablo. They didn't really have a second front line with Malthael here. He's obviously great against Blaze in the solo lane, but I think he got a little bit flustered maybe because we didn't have a tank, and then his damage is a little bit more limited, even though he got to do the most damage. It's mostly like tickle damage and trickle damage, which doesn't really do anything. Unfortunately for them, they just didn't play well together and then made a couple of mistakes that led to our victory. That's it for me. Thank you very much for watching if you are still tuned in. As always, if you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments. And I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you again next weekend. Hopefully I will not miss the Sunday upload video again, but I'll let you know. Have a good one. Bye-bye.